What's up, y'all? We are back. Another episode of Shorty's Sneaker Conversations. It's episode 72. Let's get the lights going. Oh, man. So, today's guest is Let Tay Tell It. What's up, Mr. Fresh Kicks 2020? Daryl Living Free. Loves Jones. Okay, there's our guest. Let Tay Tell It. What's up, Yo Keisha? Let's get our guest on here. Okay, just sent the invite. Well, hello.
What's going on?
Nothing much, man. Good to finally have you on here.
Yes, happy to be here. Thanks for having me.
Good, no problem, no problem. Well, how was your day today?
Pretty good day. Pretty chill. I ain't have a lot going on. How was yours?
It was good. It was productive.
Okay.
Got a lot of stuff done. Got some parenting stuff done too. So
Hey, that's always a good thing. Always a good
yeah.
thing.
Now, I got to ask you before we get anything, started. I know you got all that fire. What did you wear today?
I'm gonna have my beaters on today. So my beaters are a pair of the Yeezy 700 V2 because they're so comfortable. I made it a beater pair, so that's what I had on today.
Okay. Okay. All right. It's cool. Cool. All right. So, before we get into quarter one, we're still kind of pre-gaming it. I got to ask you, what's the most positive thing you've been able to take from the world since the pandemic started?
Most positive thing. Outside of the fact that, of course, life is precious. We went through a lot during the pandemic. I would say a positive thing was learning how to start a business. I started my business in the midst of the pandemic, and I learned a lot. And it was scary, but I made it through. And so I feel like that's one of the most positive things that I've been able to take away. It's like teaching myself. So, making a business means that I'll be able to, show my son that eventually as he gets older, because it's not something my parents showed me. I just was kind of out here making it work. So, yeah.
All right. Well, I'll definitely have some Let Tay created questions later on in the show.
Yes, let's get it.
Yeah. Yes. All right. So we'll jump into the first quarter, which is sneaker beginnings. What is your earliest sneaker memory?
My earliest memory would be middle school. And I say this all the time because it started with Air Force Ones for me. So that's my earliest memory. I finally had convinced my parents to buy me the shoes. Like, I think at that time they were like $70 or something like that. And to my parents, they were like, no, that's too expensive. Like, that's too much. And I begged and begged and begged until I wore them down. And they were like, okay, we'll get you a white and a black pair, but you can't get no more until school start again. So you better make it work. So, you cleaning the shoes, you know what I'm saying? Making that sure they always clean, make sure they ain't got no creases in them. So that's my earliest memory that I remember.
All right. Now, how long ago would you say that was? Is this like Nelly era? Is this before that? After?
Oh my gosh. I'm 31. So, sheesh, I think Nelly era was maybe middle school or high school for me. I can't remember, but it's been over 10 years. Let's say that.
Okay. Because I just know, as far as like, we live in North Carolina, but we're from Cleveland, Ohio. So there, you would see people wearing Forces in the late 90s, but it was all jewel Forces. Really until about 98. That's when the white just kind of took over, about 98. That was right before my senior year. So I predate the Nelly, but I'm glad Nelly did that, because I really feel like between that and Bape, they really made Nike step Air Force One.
I agree. We have to give them credit for that, 100%.
Yeah, because it'd be dudes like, man, I ain't fucking with Forces because Nelly, like, man, shut up, man.
No.
Hot song, Air Force Ones will always be hot.
Always. Like, I don't care. Even if you take a break, just because you take a break, everybody else ain't taking a break. People are still buying them Air Force Ones. They have not died out at all. I don't care what nobody say. No.
Not at all. Now, I do have to ask, where are you from?
I'm from Virginia Beach, Virginia.
Okay. All right. Yeah, I mean, y'all be up on stuff, before a lot of people. So
yeah,
you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, during that time, we was on Air Force Ones and flight jackets, heavy, like real heavy. It was, and it went for quite a long time, I have to say.
Got you. Got you. All right. Now, Forces kind of kicked it off for you, but what was that next shoe that was like, where you was like, all right, I'm in this?
Ooh, I would probably say Jordans and Vans. So in high school, I was really, really into Vans. And then in college, I was able to start buying my own sneakers because I had a better job and was, making a little bit more money while I was in college. So I bought the Cardinal Sevens. Those are my first pair of Jordans I remember buying. And I walked in the store. I was in Jersey for the summer for an internship, and I saw that they had came out. And so I was like, okay, I'm going to go to some stores and see if they got them. And I walked in. They had my size, and I had to have them. So that's probably, like, between Vans and Jordans, those are the two that, like, when I started making money. Or, like, in Vans, I feel like weren't as expensive. They're still not as expensive as, like, Jordans and whatnot. So even in high school, I was still able to get my mom to buy them. But once I got a job, like, I just started buying my own sneakers. So
Okay. Now, with the Vans, are you, like, for instance, like I have a decent amount of Vans, but I only really wear skate highs. I don't really like the old schools that much. They're cool, but like, what's your Vans silhouette?
probably those. Like, but in high school, I was doing the slip-on Vans, so the ones
Okay.
that weren't laced up. But the skate highs are more what I have now. I only have a couple now, so the lows and the highs, but I prefer the highs though.
Okay. Now, I'm not really, because my feet are really too big for my body, so I don't really do slip-ons. I would last times at Ridgemont High, the checkerboard van. Like if I ever
Mm-hmm.
had a slip on, it would probably be that one. So,
Yeah, yeah. Mm-hmm.
I'm like obsessed with the '80s, so that's
Mm-hmm.
partly why I would do that.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, okay, okay. Now, I know it's going back a ways, but what was that first shoe outfit combo that you had where you really just killed and people were like, girl, where you get this fit, this shoes from? Like, what I'm saying? What was
Man,
that moment?
I
That
gotta
moment?
go back in. I gotta go back in the day with the velour suits. You know what I'm saying? The jacket with the pants. Come on, like the velour suit, the jacket, the pants, and then the flight jacket on top of it, and then some Air Force Ones. Like everybody had velour suits. I don't care. Nobody say they're even coming back now. So that's probably that outfit where, because how school was for me and how my parents did me, my dad used to work at Sears. And so every year before school starts, I would go to Sears. I would pick out all my school clothes. So, of course, when you're in school and everybody like, oh, if you don't have this on, then, you ain't doing nothing. So I'm trying to get whatever I could get that, would stand out and make me feel like I'm fresh to death and all of that. So the velour suit with Air Force Ones, chef's kiss.
Okay.
Perfect. Mm-hmm.
Now, I know you said that initially you only had, that was like you could only get all white or all black. So was you wearing the white more than the black?
I was wearing the white more than the black, and so I was cleaning them a lot too, because you trying to again keep them clean, and I was not using like sneaker products, like the cleaning products that you have now for the sneakers. Like no, I'm using them ghetto products, cleaning products from the Dollar Tree, cleaning up my shoes. But I was still wearing the white pair more than the black pair, I would say.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
I just asked because I mean, to me, the Black Force One equals criminal thing wasn't big back then like it is now.
It's not
So
like it was back then. I feel like if I wear them now, I'd be judged. But whatever. But it was not like that back then at all.
once I get finished with this month of Air Maxes, I'm gonna break out some Black Air Force One lows just so I can see what people say.
Yes,
Now,
please do.
here they're from 2007, so they're made a little different, but they're still just Air Force One lows. Like I put them next to a new pair, and the leather was like completely different. You know what I mean? But I definitely am gonna do that. Forces in general are really gonna be like last year. I mean, I started working for Converse, but Chucks were like my focus last year.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? Different random collabs, vintage ones, IDs. Like I went crazy with Converse. So this year, I really think I'm gonna take it back to the Air Force One because I have a lot of pairs, but it's still like. And don't get mad at me because I know you're a lady in the sneakers. We got a lot of ladies in the sneakers on here.
Uh-oh.
But I really be looking at y'all colorways, man. If I could find women's Forces, the toe box is so big, I could even do a women's 12, but 12s and 13s, that might be
Hey, they've been killing it with the. I'm sorry, they've been killing it with the colorways and the forces. Like even myself, I've just been. I feel like forces are one of those pairs that I like to get multiple pairs of because the colorways just be. So I ain't even mad at that because and some of them aren't hard to get, so everybody can get a pair. Quite
yeah,
honestly,
because like I don't look down on people for wearing all white or all black, but like when I was working in regular shoe stores, like that's all people wanted, and I'm like, man, why y'all so, you know, what's the word I'm looking for? You're so committed to being basic. Like, get horses with the red check or get some with the blue swoosh. You know what I mean?
mm-hmm. Yeah,
I got to all white.
yeah,
So,
yeah. I feel that.
all right. So, last question of the first quarter is: who were your early sneaker or outfit influencers when you were young coming up? Was it somebody close to you, like a relative or a sibling or a celebrity?
Missy Elliott. And I just say Missy Elliott because I feel like she um was not afraid to step outside the box with a lot of her outfits and the way she went about things. So Missy Elliott. Um, I want to say Tiana Taylor, but maybe as I got a little older versus being younger, because she's another one that made me realize like I don't have to wear heels to. I don't always have to wear heels. Let me say that because I just like coming up. I didn't feel like there were a lot of people I was looking at that were wearing sneakers and was always like, no, when you go here, you got to wear heels. When you go there, you got to wear heels. Put on some sandals. I don't want to wear sandals. I don't want to wear heels. I want to wear sneakers. Like everybody like, no, you can't wear those sneakers. And I'm like, okay, that's kind of weird to me. But, as you get older, you like forget what y'all saying. I'm just going to wear whatever I want to wear. So, but yeah, definitely Missy Elliott. And I feel like as I got older, Tiana Taylor.
Okay. Now I have to ask you this since you brought up Missy. Did you ever used to look at Cribs back in the day, MTV Cribs?
Yes, yes.
Have you ever seen her episode before?
I don't think I have.
Now it's on YouTube. She's one of the only people where I'm like, yeah, that's really her house. You know what I mean?
That makes sense though. Some of the people on MTV Cribs, you're right. That's a good point. Like when you kind of think back and look at it, you like, you sure you live in this house? Or did you just buy this house for MTV Cribs? Are you renting this house for MTV Cribs?
Yeah. Because some people I'm like, so you ain't got none of your plaques here, huh?
Right. You ain't got no awards.
None of them, So, because she showed all of her sneakers. She had like this bed in one of her rooms where it was like the bed was made like a Ferrari and like sneakers came out the trunk. Like it was raw. Like you definitely
have to go check that out.
Yeah, like she's definitely one of my favorites. Now, with her being an influence, on your style, what's your favorite album of hers? Don't say the first one. Everybody says the first one.
Then don't ask because
I have a special place in my heart for the second Missy. But
I'm sorry, but the first album is such a classic. Like
it is.
First of all, everything that she puts out, I just love. And it's not even because she's from VA. It's just because she's just so talented. Like, can't nobody ever deny her talent. Like, Mm-hmm. I'm sorry. I'm going to have to go with the first one.
I expect for you to say that. I'm just messing around. But, her first album, I mean, my wife makes fun of me for still using CDs. Like, her first CD is in my car right now. You know what I'm saying?
That's okay. I got some CDs, too. Ain't nothing, got some CDs.
I listen to Best Friends probably at least twice a week. That was some of Timberland's best work. And Aaliyah was on it. So,
yeah.
But, okay. See, I didn't even put the VA and Missy Timberland thing together, but yeah, but we'll get into some music during halftime. You know what I'm saying? I gotta ask you that. All right. So as we jump into the second quarter, this quarter is more recent sneaker pass. It's kind of like from high school up to maybe a couple years ago.
Okay.
So, what was your first job? Coming up.
My first job was at this place called Trade Secret. So it was like a hair salon / beauty supply store, but they sold. It wasn't like a Sally's. Not. It wasn't like a Sally's or like your typical like beauty supply store. It was more like upscale kind of. And I got that job because my mom knew somebody that was like, "Oh, do you need a job?" "Yes, I need a job." So that's where I worked at for quite a while, actually, up and through college too.
Yeah. For those of y'all in the comments hating on me having CDs, I don't care. You know what I'm saying? Old schools don't come like new cars where you got just the, so whatever. Y'all can think whatever. That goes for my wife too. I know she ain't here. She fun me out. So, all right. So with that first job at Trade Secret, what was the first sneaker that you bought yourself? Or can you remember?
It's probably a pair of Vans. It's probably the first pair that I bought myself.
Yeah, that's also something I got to revisit because I don't think I've worn but maybe 1 or 2 pairs of Vans since I've been in Carolina. We've been here for like a year and a half, so black and white skate highs. I got to go basic. I actually have a few pairs right here. These are recent thrift finds that I got to bring. I have found these.
Yes,
these were like,
nice. Yes.
I have a regular pair of skate highs that I've been have, but this is the comfy cush pair that made for skate.
Yes.
Messed up, but these were like $10 a piece. I couldn't leave them there. I'm like,
yes, you cannot. Vans always have a special place in my heart. Always.
Yeah.
Always.
So, but all right. Now, back then, with you wearing the Vans, what were the clothing brands that you were really kind of rocking with back in them days? Was this past the urban days, or where were we at?
Oh, I was on Rocawear. I was on South Pole. FUBU. I didn't really do Sean John. What was Beyonce's
Darion?
Yeah, a little bit, just a tad, just a smidget. But Rocawear real heavy. Really like Rocawear. Oh gosh.
No love for the baby fat?
You said what?
No love for the baby fat?
Baby fat. Can't forget about baby fat. I did do some baby fat. Yes. Did some baby fat. Those were the main ones.
I feel like Rocawear used to do a really good job of including y'all, more than the other brands, other than, Baby Fat was for y'all. Marc Ecko tried it with Echo Red, but a lot of the other brands kind of missed it with y'all, where they didn't really do nothing.
Yeah, I would have to agree. South Pole, they tried a little bit. I feel like I might be able to walk into like Ross and whatnot, find me a little South Pole here, a little South Pole there, But I would have to agree on the Rocawear.
Gotcha. Okay. Now, what were some shoes from that era? Because we're kind of like, in the 2000s. What was the shoe from back then that you wanted that you kind of took an L on back then?
In the 2000s, early 2000s?
Either that or a shoe you just never got to touch that you always wanted back then?
Honestly, back then, like when we're talking about shoes that were coming out, especially like Jordan and whatnot, I really wasn't trying to get those shoes. And I guess I say that because of money wise. Like, if I didn't have it, I just wasn't able to get it. I feel like it didn't really start for me, like trying to get shoes and I missed out on them was probably until college with like the Concord 11s. Like I definitely missed out on those. Couldn't get them. I remember trying. I had people, like telling me come here, come there to try to get them. Still couldn't get them. So those are probably more up so to like my freshman year in college. Starting with that and like trying to get those Concord 11s. That's one of the earliest memories that I have of like trying to get a shoe and I just was not successful at all.
Yeah, it's just so crazy with that release. That release was something, it was horrible, but it was special at the same time because a lot of stuff changed from that release. Because, for perspective, in 2000, first Concord Retro, people bought them, but it took like a week for them to sell out. Like they were like a regular shoe, and retros were hot because they were still kind of, a new thing back then. But, to me, after the DMP release and then going to that release in 2011, it was just ugly. Like, where it's like, damn, I don't really feel safe working here trying to sell these shoes.
Yeah. That's another thing too, trying to like wanting to go, like I know people talk about, you know, being outside and going to the stores and camping out and whatnot, but as a woman, like that really wasn't ideal for me unless I had someone with me. You know, I just wasn't doing it by myself. There were times though, like when I graduated from college, I was able to go to stores really early. There was this one mall I'll never forget when I was living in Northern Virginia. There's this one mall in Ashburn, Virginia. I would get up super early. I would go there before the mall was even open, but the store was open, and I would be able to get in line. It was a pretty safe. They had security and all of that, and I would be able to get pairs. But back then, like, you know, earlier in the 2000s, like camping out and whatnot as a female, I just wasn't doing that unless I had someone with me. So
I get that. I get that completely. All right. Now, before we go to halftime, I do have to ask you, what was the shoe that you copped back in the 2000s, you know, after you started having your own money, that you kind of regret, like, man, what the fuck? Why did I buy these? So,
oh,
I have a couple.
I don't know if I don't know if I have a pair that I regret. No, I think it was a pair of KDs that I bought. And I got them and I put them on my feet and I was like, I don't like, they didn't fit right. It was, and I have a wide foot. And it didn't look like they were like narrow, but I put my foot in them, I'm like, no, this is not for my type of feet at all. So I ended up selling them. I can't remember what pair it was. It was like an all black pair with a whole bunch of different colors on it. And I wasn't into KD's, but I just like that. Like when I see a shoe, like LeBron's, for instance, I'm not into LeBron's, but if I see a LeBron, I'm like, oh my God, I love the way they look. I'll get it. But again, LeBron's too, they're a real basketball shoe. So you put them on your foot, they are tight because they're meant for 9 times out of 10 when you're playing basketball. So the pair I had, just too tight. So
Okay.
at this age, I ain't keeping no shoes. Like if it ain't working for me, we just, you know, let somebody else enjoy it. So
Yeah. Okay. Now these KDs were they were all black with a bunch of colors on them. Did they have an air bubble?
I don't think they had an air bubble. They had a funny tongue on it though. It wasn't like a regular tongue. I don't even know how to describe it.
The KD9 Unlimited that you're talking about, because I actually want those. I'm looking for those.
It might be.
You know,
it might be.
These came out like 2015, 16.
That's around the time that I got them, I think.
Yeah, so it may be those. I'll send you a picture after the thing. Like, was it these?
Yeah.
But, yeah. Now, we'll jump to halftime. No questions in the chat. But do you have any questions for me?
I want to know your earliest memory of sneakers. Like that pair you had to have, earliest memory.
The first, like, I was fortunate that I had a father that was into sports and sneakers. Okay. So, because he played basketball all the time, so he would buy sneakers to just play basketball in. But, you know, he would wear them around too. And the first shoe I ever wanted, because he had them before me, you know, was the Infrared 6. Like, he came home with him and he had the whole set, the hat, the bag, the short set.
Wow.
And the infrared was like glowing, and I was like just mesmerized by it. Like, because that was the season I got into basketball, and I was already loving Michael Jordan anyway. And he was like, yeah, I didn't get you these, but we can get them tomorrow. I just got to have them measure your foot. So I got my pair the next day, and that moment made me a sneakerhead back in 1991, 4th grade. So that's where it started for me. Anytime the black Infrared 6 comes out, I have to get it, no matter how many pairs I have.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I probably got about 7 pairs of black Infrared 6s right now.
Nice. Okay.
Let's see here. Ooh, some people hating. She just shitted on the shoe Chris wanted. Damn, Carabelle Wonder been, she been killing me in this. Talking about the CDs. Chris' first shoes was the Walk With Me Air Jesus 13s. Ugh. Do I have that shoe now? I don't. My friend Earl asked you what's her favorite shoe she recently bought. Yo, what's your shoe you recently bought that's favorite, I guess, Tay?
The Cool Gray 11s. Yeah. Okay. I'm an 11s girl. I love 11s. So anytime 11s come out, I'm going to try my best to get them. Anytime.
Okay. I'm not going to lie to you. I'm tired of 11s.
Are you? I'm not. I'm not. I love them.
It's just we've been doing this. It's been 13 years. Like, give us something else at Christmas. Going all the way back to the countdown pack. Like, it's gonna be an 11. Now these are coming back again. Like, I just need something different at Christmas time. Like, all I really need, I need a Columbia with the high cut patent leather, and yeah, I mean that'd be it. I actually like IE 11s more than regular 11s. They feel better on my foot.
Okay, see now, 11s. Don't get me wrong; they're not like a shoe I feel like I'm gonna wear if I'm standing up for long periods of time. Like, no, they're like a special occasion shoe for me. Like, if I'm going out somewhere, and I just feel like I want to do something a little extra, I might pull out a pair of 11s, and as long as I'm gonna be sitting down for a good amount of time. And I know that, but I love 11s. I love them.
Yeah, like for me, like, and this is gonna be really unpopular. Hopefully, the live count doesn't go down after I say the Concord is the best 11. There's not an 11 even close to the Concord.
Okay.
It has a short shelf life, so it's kind of like you have to have a pair of dead stock, and you have to have a pair you actually wear.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like the Space Jam 11 is one of the most overrated shoes ever. I do own it.
Oh.
I do own it. I have the 2000 pair, and I have the 2016 pair. I never got the 09 pair, but it's just black with the blue Jumpman. I know he wore it in the movie. I was excited for the last one because they made it like the PE pair that he actually wore, in NBA games. But yeah, like, I'm not hating because, I mean, I still have all of these shoes, but I never really think to wear 11s unless it's something special, like you said,
Yeah.
My 01 black and red 11s I'll probably hold on to forever. They're still wearable, and I have newer pairs, but just the black and red and the Concord, those are the only ones I really care about. And I need a pair of Columbias, a new pair.
I'm not mad at the Concords. Space Jams for me and Cool Grays are kind of on the same level. That's why I was so excited when the Cool Grays dropped, so I was able to actually get a pair. But
the Cool Gray is special. Like, for the Clevelanders in here, in the chat, like, people always talk about the Pigeon Dunk when it came out in 05. That was the first sneaker riot. The sneaker mall we had in Cleveland is torn down and gone now. But it was like an all-out riot for these shoes, and this is before resale. So dudes was going crazy over the Cool Gray 11 and 01 because it was just a raw shoe. You know what I'm saying? So I like that memory is attached to that shoe. So it's like, yeah, I had to get a new pair because I had that 01 pair at the bottom was orange. So, but yeah, I respect your love for, the 11. I'm just a little tired of it. I wish they would do something different.
Yeah, I can understand.
I feel that way about the 1 too, more so than the 11, but that's a whole nother conversation.
Now, the ones, once I break them ones in, I'm wearing the ones. Like, them pine green ones that I have right now, them things is wore down to the ground because they so comfortable. I just slip my foot in and I go. So I don't know if I'm tired of the ones either. The comfort, once I break the shoe in, it's just good for me.
Yeah, like the one, and again, I'm not hating. Like, I have more ones than any other one. Like, I've got original ones, I've got 94 ones, but it's just, again, I need something else.
Yeah.
A lot of other Jordans.
There are. They come out with the 2s. They trying to do something. I see them trying to do something with the 2s. Yeah.
But it's the 35th anniversary, so I feel like after this year, we won't see them again for a long time.
Okay.
I know it's a business and you have to go what works.
Yeah.
But I just, this is Nike we're talking about. Like, it's they've got a deeper catalog than anyone. Well, it's probably comparable to Adidas, but only Adidas.
Yeah.
So I just be wanting something else. But let's jump into the third quarter, which is sneaker present. It's always the funnest part of the show. Talk about how the shoe game is right now.
Mm-hmm.
All right, so we talked about the Cool Gray 11. Is there another shoe that you really like to wear that you're wearing a lot right now? I know you told me about the Yeezys being your beaters, but Is there another shoe where you like, I'm really fucking with these?
Probably my felines, feline ray tracers. To me, they're comfortable, and I have quite a few pairs, so I like to wear those.
Of the ray tracer.
Yes,
Interesting.
yes, I love them. They're my favorites.
Yeah. Um when I was still at home and I was working for Foot Locker, we had several of those for like dirt. I kind of regret not getting the original, just white, blue, and red pair.
Mm-hmm.
Like $15 cheap, and we were moving, and I didn't want to really buy too many shoes while we were moving, but that's one where I'm like, yeah, I should have got that.
Yeah, it's the price point on those. Can't beat it. You really can't.
Look, I have to give you props on talking about a fila that's not a Grant Hill. Thank you.
I know, because everybody loves the Grant Hills, and I get it, but they have other pairs that are really great. So.
Yes. All right, now this is a loaded question, but you're in this game, this life we chose with the sneakers. Mm-hmm. So, like, where is your main place to get shoes now?
My main place to get shoes?
Mm-hmm.
That's a hard question, because are we talking releases or just like regular, like walking in the store, like I'm just looking for some shoes?
Both.
If it's like regular, I'm just walking in looking for some shoes, it's between Hibbett and Foot Locker. But releases, like, I feel like when I'm trying to get releases, honestly, like, I go to the sneakers at first, but that's just because it's the quickest way for me to put something in, like, if they're doing, like, a draw or even just, first come, first serve, whatever. It's the quickest way for me to put it in. Outside of that, if I'm on Foot Locker, it's the whole waiting in line on their website. And then if you go to Foot Action, Champs, and all of that, you got to go through all of these different things. So I don't like sneakers, but I go to sneakers anyway. I feel like everybody says that, and that's just a consensus across the board. But outside of that, because we really only have where I'm at, like Foot Locker, Hibbett, Champs, Foot Action, but I probably would go to Foot Locker first.
Okay. Having worked many times for Foot Locker, and I've also I worked for Hibbett for like a year and a half. I was there when they launched their Hibbett app, because before everything was just in store with the bucket and the tickets. Yep. So Hibbett has really come far. Even in the time that I worked, because I worked there from May of 18 until October of 19. When I first started working for them, it was baseball bats and helmets and stuff in the stores. But you go into Hibbett now, don't even
see that no more. Mm-mm.
So yeah, it's I know, at least in the Cleveland market, when I took over the store that I used to run for Hibbett, they specifically told me they were going after. It was still called Villa at the time, but now it's just DTLR. They were going after their money, and to a lesser extent, Foot Locker's money for the, storefronts. Not really malls, but storefronts. So they've come a long way. And, I was with Foot Locker when they went from VIP to FLX. Nobody likes FLX, and it was hard to explain how it works. So I haven't had any luck with FLX when I was there, because, if it was a shoe, we still had to enter the raffle like a regular person. Or since. So
yeah. You know what? Another store, which I don't go to that much anymore, but in college I spent a lot of time in Jimmy Jazz. A lot of time in Jimmy Jazz. Like, I felt like in college I could walk up in there and get quite a few pairs of shoes that I wanted, and it wasn't even after the fact, even after it released. So I gotta shout out Jimmy Jazz, even though I don't go there as much. Now, in college, I was in there a lot.
Now, Jimmy Jazz was cool. I mean, up until the pandemic, they were like a secret go-to for me. Now, we only had one Jimmy Jazz in all of Cleveland, and then it was one in Akron. Mm-hmm. But Jimmy Jazz used to they would put Nike retros that weren't Jordans or Foamposites on sale first. So like when the Air Max 98 came out in 2014, nobody cared about it. So it was nothing like when it came out in 18. So I was able to get all of them from Jimmy Jazz for like $79.99. You know,
Mm-hmm.
where Barclays or Pennies, anything like that that wasn't a Jordan or a Foamposite. If it sat, they would put it on sale and it would be on sale. So I missed that. But it hasn't really been like that with them since the pandemic, I feel like.
Yeah, I feel like a lot of that has changed. The pandemic changed all of that. I agree.
Yeah. Okay. What do you feel like is the biggest influence on you purchasing a sneaker now?
Comfort. I'm a mom. I need to be comfortable. I need some comfort. I need some cushion, some something. I mean, don't get me wrong. I like some of the hype sneakers that be coming out. I'm not gonna lie. So I will get them. But honestly, if I get them and I put them on, and they just don't give me, like, I can be in these for like at least a couple hours, and I'm not gonna get a whole bunch of wears out of them, then I might sell them. There's a good chance that I might sell them.
Gotcha.
But yeah, comfort. The I have to like the shoe, of course, but comfort again. That's just gonna always be my go-to at this point.
Now I know I'm gonna sound bad saying this. My main
Uh-oh.
influence it's nostalgia, man. If the shoe is uncomfortable, I just wear it one time and then just break it out ever so often. But my wife is watching this, you know what I'm saying? I'll say it, for her, even though it's not like she don't know. It's a lot of shoes that I have because of what they are, more so than how I like how they feel.
Okay.
There's this shoe Penny used to wear called the Air Up, and they've only retroed it once, and they did a horrible, horrible job retroing it. I only have that shoe. It doesn't feel good on my foot. I don't like the way it looks, but they're so hard to find in my size that I just have it because of what it is and because I want to have all the pennies. So to hear that you're doing it the mature way where you're like, yeah, fuck this shoe. Excuse my language. Forget this shoe. I'm just going, just go with comfort. Props on that.
Yeah, now, don't get me wrong, like, yeah, now, like, my son is 4, so this is, like, within 4 years of, like, me having him,
Mm-hmm.
but I still have shoes now where I don't put them on because they are not comfortable. Like, I have a couple pairs where it's like, okay, I ain't ready to part ways with you just yet. Like, I have some Griffies. Now, the Griffies are not that comfortable. I know people love them. They are not that comfortable, and I'm not ready to part ways with that shoe. I can't. So it's just gonna be here. So.
All right. Perhaps you'll share with us a few more of said shoes beyond that Griffey.
I can.
Yeah. What are some other ones?
Let's see. Union 4s. 4s are not comfortable to me. But I am not going to part ways with that pair because I work hard to get that pair off there. I'm not going to part ways with it. But it's not comfortable. I can't even lie. What else? I really think that might be it.
Mm-hmm.
That might be it. I feel like a lot of my shoes are comfortable. So
she got mad shoes that her pinky toes be hurting, and I got to hear about them.
That's my fiance. Get off.
Hey, a lot of science been dropped in these comments. I'll be saying that, you know what I'm saying? But yeah. It's good. That's good. So I know you talked about your little one. Now I know you have kind of brought him up in the game. You mind talking about what you do with him and what that's all about for the people who don't know?
Yes. So we honestly, me and my fiance, we started him before he was even born. Buying him sneakers. And so the sneaker corner that I do with him, honestly, is to teach him about sneakers, just to get him started, knowing more about them, knowing what's on his feet. Because, you wearing these sneakers and I'm buying them and I'm spending all this money. Like, I want you to be able to know what's actually on your feet. Just doing a sneaker corner with him just has helped him, know what shoes he's wearing and, to teach him more And honestly, it's also helped him with his speech, you know, because he's a toddler. So we're still working on, you know, pronunciating and doing things of that nature. So that's also helped with it too. So it's fun. It's a lot of fun being able to do that with him. And my parents, I have older parents, so they weren't into sneakers and all of that. So this is something I feel like I'm able to share with him, and it's a lot of fun.
Nice, nice. Okay, okay. Now, last year was a big year for sneakers in general. Last year was a big year for women and sneakers in general. I feel like, you know, a lot of the releases were, you know, the best ones were kind of geared towards y'all. I mean, Whitner with the Ama Maniere, the 3, the 1. But I have to ask, with you being a lady into sneakers, do you feel like you face any extra challenges or any extra foolery because you're a lady in this and not a guy?
Yes, absolutely. I feel like I always go to the respect. I just feel like a lot of men do not respect women in the game. Like, and I was telling someone the other day, if you go to like a bigger brand's page, and let's say they reposted a woman, like whether it be like her sneaker collection or a reel she did or whatever the case may be, if you go to the comments, like there are men literally in the comments like, clearly her man bought those shoes for her, or why does she only have Jordan 1s, or she don't like sneakers, she's just into hype, or you know, because people are like, wear what you like, then you wear what you like, and they like, no, not that, I meant this. And it's like, no, you said wear what you like, period. Like it can't just be wear what you like, but only this list that I set out for you, especially if you're not buying shoes. So I just feel like altogether the respect is missing. um I can't even tell you how many people are on my block list right now from like I used to literally call these people out, but it's like it was just like after a while I'm like, there's no point. I'm just gonna block them. Like I get comments all the time on my posts, like people just out of nowhere, just like saying the wildest things. Like I don't know what it is with some of these men, because it's not all of them. It's some, but some of them really just, I don't know what it is, but the respect is just not there. It's not there in the community. It's not there behind the scenes as it should be. It's not there in the boardrooms. It's not there sometimes when they do these releases. You know, I feel like I can tell when a woman wasn't involved or when a black woman wasn't involved, and they want to center it around black women. So yeah, I that's my biggest thing, the respect.
Okay. The reason I ask that is because I feel like in some regards, like I feel like, especially starting last year, or maybe even a little bit of 20, I feel like that's changed a little bit for the better. Because to me, the shoe game has kind of spun around. It's become ageist, you know, because it's like if you're too old, you know, like you won't be on there. And I feel like brands really, Nike and Adidas have really, I guess, made an effort to try to cater more to y'all. But if there was something else you would change about it, you know, you've talked about the respect. Was there anything else you would change?
Um, Another thing that I would change is I feel like the brands focus on women from certain areas only. And that's not necessarily a bad thing, because I understand that, you know, they're hitting their major markets like New York, LA, Atlanta, Houston, you know, I could name them, but there are people in all types of areas, like where I'm from in Virginia, Tennessee, like, you know, just all over Arizona. I mean, hit them somewhere else. Like, I want to see someone from somewhere else, some small town you ain't never heard of. Pull me somebody from there. Like, I know there's some sneakerheads in small towns somewhere that ain't nobody heard of that, you know, maybe could get a little bit more exposure. Maybe you can, you know, showcase what, you know, what they have on their feet. That's something that I feel like I would love to see be done a lot better.
Okay. Okay. But yeah, I feel like like when I go on the sneakers app, I do feel like when I look at the kick checks, I do see more ladies than I do guys. But it is what you said. It is mainly New York, LA,
Yeah.
Seattle,
Chicago. Yeah.
Chicago, or it's overseas. It'll be Japan, or it'll
Yeah.
be, you know what I mean. So,
Yeah.
okay, okay. Now, in your collection, what's the shoe that you have? Because I know we talked about the Griffies, but what's the shoe you got that you feel like it didn't really age well?
Didn't age well. I have a my Flint 13s. Where is the Flint 13s? And this is why I don't wear them a lot now. These Flint 13s did not age well at all to me. Like, I don't know if you can tell, but I wore these things to the ground. I just feel like they did not age well. Like, they're starting to come off. Like, the paint and stuff coming off, and just, to me, they didn't age well. And that's why the new pair of Flint 13s I have, I won't wear them often, because I like 13s, and I just...
That's the 10 pair.
Hmm?
That's the 10 pair.
Yeah, it is. Mm-hmm.
I think everybody's, because that's the pair I wear, because I took an L on the 20 pair, and I refused to pay resale for it. So it'll always be $150 in my mind, like it was back in the day.
Yeah.
I don't think any Jordan that was made from 2009 probably to 2014, it's up in the air how the quality is. You know, some are made better than others, but yeah, that specific release was not made well, and that was the first Black Friday shoe, so it's kind of historic. But yeah, my pair like that as well.
Yeah,
the pot yellowing, the paint is chipped.
Yeah, all of that. So they just sit over there and just
Yeah. Okay, well, let's jump to the fourth quarter, which is sneaker future. So you got a lot of sneakers. I've been a fan of yours for a while. What is your holy grail? That shoe that you just haven't touched, that you're like, God, I need this shoe. You know, you got a lot of shoes, so you may not have one, but do you have one?
I do. And I've touched the shoe, but I sold it. The band ones. I had the shoe, I had my son, and my shoe size just was never the same. So I ended up selling the shoe, and I regret it. I probably shouldn't have. Like, I'm the type of person sometimes where if I get a shoe and it's just not the right size for my foot, but I just had to have the shoe, sometimes I'll wait until I can get the shoe again before I sell it. And maybe I should have done that, but, you know, whatever. Somebody else is probably happy with the shoe. But yeah, band ones, those are it for me. I really want that shoe back, and I'll get it one day.
Okay. Well, since we're talking about ones, how do you feel about mids?
I love mids. What? I want your mids. I love mids. Mids are good. We wear mids over here.
So, would the black and red mid version work out?
Oh, I have those. Yeah, okay. I got those. Yeah.
Still
I definitely got those. Yes.
Gotcha. Okay.
They do for now, but we're gonna still make sure that eventually I get, you know, the highs. So
I also wear mids and not just collab mids. I got a bunch of random older mids, some newer ones, a couple pairs I found at Burlington. Oh, it's a Jordan 1 at Burlington. Let me just grab it because it's a Jordan 1 at Burlington. So
oh, nice. See, my Burlington over here don't be having that. I wish they did though.
Yeah, it fluctuates. But to me, because we haven't really done it this year. But normally, my wife and I hit the closeout spots because it'd be a lot of random stuff in there. But you know, most of the stores post-pandemic, closeout-wise, have kind of sucked. But Burlington is really, to me, the only one that still kind of resembles how it was before the pandemic.
Yeah.
You know, they still have clothes for fat boys like me. They still got random shoes. They don't really get Nikes, but that's Nike not really putting them shoes in them stores. But they still get Reeboks and Adidas and other stuff.
Converse. Yeah, I agree.
See the Converse. At least I don't see them.
I see some Converse here. I see some Converse, see some Reebok, Fila, um, but not really Nike.
Okay.
Yeah.
Because like they've really over the last 6 months, Nike has really started to do Converse the way that they do their own releases, where it's been release dates now and holding stuff back to drive up the demand. I probably really shouldn't be saying this, but that's as much as I'll say. But they're doing it. You know, it's
Yeah.
noticeable where it's like, yeah,
Yeah.
y'all direct to consumer shit. I, you
Yeah.
know, so okay, okay. Now, what direction do you see your collection going in the future?
Hmm. More Filas. Like if they keep putting out them ray tracers, I'm gonna keep buying them. There was actually a collab that I missed out on with Feli, and it was, oh my god, is his name June Sanders? I think his name is June Sanders. Don't quote me. However, I missed out on it, and I'm still on the hunt for it. It was like a collab with like him, DTLR, and Pepsi. I'm still on the hunt for that. But future wise, like I said, more Felines, more Yeezys, because I know everybody's like on the fence about Kanye, but the man makes some comfortable sneakers. So I just the comfort for me. Probably will get more of those. Um, let's see. More Air Force Ones. Who can't, who doesn't want more Air Force Ones? I do. Let's see. And like I said, any 11 they put out for the holiday season, I'm going to get.
You already looked at this white and red one.
I did, and I'm going to get it. I have to have it. Mm-hmm.
I'm really trying to think of an 11 that's not an OG colorway that's like, man, I'd like to have those, but I just
None? None
believe
at
that
all?
I really believe that was a lot of the stuff we're seeing now is just sample stuff that either was from a previous retro run or maybe from the original run, and they just never came out with it. Like I
Mm.
believe that we're white and red mid 11s in 1996 that Michael Jordan was just like, nah,
I
or
believe so.
could have been 2001, whenever they first retroed the 2000,
Yeah.
but I do feel like a lot of stuff is like, let's just put it out now. Fuck it.
Yeah.
And
That's true.
then I do feel like, and this is going to sound crazy to some, but I really feel like it happens. I feel like some stuff they make, it'd be too good, but they're like, nah, we ain't going to come out with this. This is too good. We're not going to come out with this. At least not yet. Like, the Shattered Backboard 3s, like, I believe that there really is a leather black and orange pair that's just regular. And they was like, nah, this is too good. We got to make them wait for this. We'll come out with this one. They still going to buy it. And then if, we down bad, maybe we could come out with these again, so.
I feel like anything is believable when it comes to these brands and how they are handling, putting out certain things, because that makes a lot of sense. Like, why would we put it out right now? Let's just wait until, I don't know, we feel like the momentum is falling off, and then boom, we're gonna hit y'all with this. And now, like they did with the ones. Honestly, I feel like that's how it went. Like maybe down bad, maybe feeling like they need to spruce it up. Let's drop these ones and all these different colorways and just hit y'all with it all at once. The dunks too.
Yeah. See, because a lot of people don't remember, and a lot of people just weren't in the sneaker time, but you remember how 2015, Nike started Jordan Brand with the remaster project. Stuff was supposed to be made with better quality or whatnot.
Yep.
And the year of Jordans that year were okay, but after like the midway point of the year, things was just sitting. Marvin the Martian sevens, the sweater
Yes.
sevens, repeat eights. A lot
Yes,
of those.
they were. Yes, yes, they were
You know,
sitting. Yes.
that after the board '07, there was like a cliff. Like I was struggling. Like, man, I don't know how I'm gonna sell these bitches. Like, I had a few like the Lenny 14s, of course the 72 and 10s.
Mm-hmm.
The Aquas were kind of in the middle. They sort of sold, but it was so many of them that
Yep.
didn't really sell. The Maroon 6 was a flop because it came out after it was supposed to, and it was 220. So a lot of these shoes just sat. So I feel like because of that, that's why we got so many ones the following year.
Mm-hmm.
Because, I mean, in 16, we got the top three. We got the black toe. We got the black and red. We got the storm blue, like a bunch of, you know, where if they came out with all of these ones now, it would be a problem.
Yeah, that's true.
So I do feel like they look back to that period like, you know, we were down bad. You know, Adidas won 2015 and still won 2016, you know, with the 350, you know, that 350 V2 was,
Yeah, it was something else. It was
you
something
know,
else.
the regular 350 was bad enough, but that 350 V2 was a problem. So I feel like that changed everything, and Nike didn't really get it back until, you know, the 10, the Virgil collection.
Yeah.
That kind of brought it back. So I really feel like they have shoes saved for, you know, in case some shit happens where we fall off again. Like,
Yeah,
you know.
that's true. Yeah.
Okay. What is on your radar next?
Man, it was a playoff 12s, but I was able to find someone to get those from, so got lucky with those. Outside of that, this might be the year of reach back for me because me and my fiance are planning our wedding. So honestly, I've been trying to chill out a little bit, like
Hard.
just trying. Not always successful, but I'm trying. So the playoff 12s is the most recent thing that, you know, I was really trying to get and wanted to make sure that I was gonna be able to get. So I was able to get those for the whole family. So right now I'm just trying to chill, just relax.
Now, and for the people in the comments, I'm not hating on 11s. I have a lot of 11s. I'm kind of tired of them. But like going back to what I was saying before, it's like, so y'all never thought of having a white and pink 11 or all pink 11? Like they can make that shit, a white and purple. That's
all
just
pink. Oh God.
Or even just the white and pink patent leather, like the low they made for kids back in the day, like.
Oh, okay. I see.
That.
Yeah.
But just think about it. For Valentine's Day, we come out with an all pink 11 with a heart. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm sure shit like that in the archives was like, yeah, we might come out with this if it's been a bad year. So I really feel like they have stuff like that locked down, like a white and purple 11. Like nobody's thought of that. Like, come on.
Good point. That's a good point. You actually make a very valid point. There are some other colors that they haven't, you know. Yeah, where y'all hiding them at? I was surprised that I have the women's drop of the 11s with the glitter, like the sparkly glitter on them. I was shocked when they came out with those. I didn't expect those. I was very shocked. So I mean,
yeah.
Good point. That's a good point.
It's gonna happen, you know, and everybody act like, but it's like, come on, man. This shit
they saving it for the right time, like you said, for the right time.
Oh, man. Yeah, so this has been great. You know what I mean? It's just flowed. I knew it was gonna be a good show. I'm excited that we were able to do this. Before we close off, do you have any other questions for me?
Okay, so I did want to ask, so what do you want to see more of from Nike and Jordan? Like, you tired of 11s, tired of 1s, all those. So what are we looking for?
It's stuff I would like to see, but it's stuff I know that wouldn't sell, that I just want. You know, just being into basketball and sneakers at the same time, it's not always a good it's not always a good combination. It's stuff that I would like to get again that Jordan has done in the past. Like I want to see them do stuff like how they did the Ben series, you know, back in the day where they were using high quality on stuff. And I need them to get back to, it's cool y'all coming out with all this weird stuff for ladies, stuff for young dudes, but you still got to come out with releases for the people that made you what you are, people like me.
Sure.
There isn't enough of that. I mean, I feel like the last couple of years, we might get 2 or 3 OGs all year. You know, we'll get an all-star shoe. We might get a shoe sometime in the summer, and we may get a shoe around holiday time. You know, because I feel like with Jordan specifically, and I hate to say this like this, a lot of stuff I say, I'm like, oh, well, that's for the young That's not really for me. And that's not from like a condescending place or a mean place, but when you came up with this colorway, you didn't have my 40, almost 42-year-old self in mind. You got kids, who want this. I need more shoes like a playoff 12 or, the UNC 6 was good. I mean, it was kind of hard to get. And my wife definitely, I think she called it, she said they must have released too many pairs during the shop drop. That's why it was none for a regular release on sneakers because a lot of people hit. So, but yeah, I just need them to get back to some storytelling for the older crowd.
Yeah. They're so focused on hype right now, and that's not always. And I'm, if you're into hype, that's fine, like not a problem. But the younger kids, which is how I was as a kid. Air Force Ones was the hype, so I was into hype, and so I feel like right now sneakers are just blowing up so much, way more than I feel like they think it was before, and so they're just completely focused on hype, and that's all that they see. It's like their tunnel vision is what is hype? What are the kids buying these days? Type of thing.
Now I'm also going to say this, and I've said this on the show many times, and I don't want to offend anyone. It's kind of a running joke when we do our show in the mornings on Sunday, but there's still too many hood nigga color Jordans. Now I put an asterisk with the 13 because it's like a black and purple 13, a black and blue 13. Those were probably samples from back in the day. That was when Jordan Brand started. But what do I need a black and yellow 9 for? What do I need a black and yellow 12 for? You'll be coming out with original shit.
Yellow 12.
Hey, a lot of people do. And I'm not, I mean, if someone gave them to me, I'm like, oh, this is, because I was Gary Payton's PE when he was on the Lakers.
Mm-hmm.
But there's a lot of that too, and I understand it. It's just not for me.
Yeah, I can understand that.
Excuse me. And then regular Nike, it's Air Max month, but I feel like this year they really fell off with the Air Maxes, man.
Except for them concept Air Max ones, those were those were pretty cool. I did want a pair, but I would have to agree, actually.
Because even last year it was okay, but they brought back some sought after collabs. They brought back some old models, and they still had shit for Air Max Day. Like you just coming out with a bunch of ones, like that blue one. Like I have the women's pale blue Air Max one from 03. It looks exactly like it. You know what I mean? So for us old, and again, I know I'm coming from a different place. They're not really marketing towards me, but yeah, I feel like Nike needs to get better with the Air Maxes. They need to stop retroing the same 12 basketball / training shoes, the same Pippins, the same Barkleys, the same. Come on, man. You know what I'm saying? Like, y'all have a deep catalog. Try some new shit.
Yes, I agree.
Y'all have it, You come out with the Jason Kids, come out with the other Jason Kids. Come out with some other Pippins.
Yeah.
Make them limited. They may not sell, but make them limited. You make them limited, people are going to buy them anyway because they're limited. Number them, but just do something else, instead of just beating the same dead horse. Oh, it's another more up tempo. This time it's white and black, but it's got an orange lining instead of a red lining. Like, who cares?
It's very lazy. It's very lazy of them. Very much so lazy.
It's 10 Griffies. We're just going to come out with the one. We've done it 3 times. Even though people might buy this other one, they might buy it. We know they're going to buy these, so we're just going to do this. And that's not what made Nike. Nike used to take chances. Now they just do shave shit.
Yep.
So,
very true.
Yes, Hop. More Air Force 3s. Yes. But yeah, so that's it. I know I went off on a tangent, but that was a really good question. Thank you.
You're welcome.
You got any more for me before we step off?
That's it. That's all for me.
Okay. Well, listen, it's really been a pleasure. I appreciate you, being on here. I appreciate what you do, with your little one. Y'all got something there. You and your fiance. Shout out to him.
Thanks.
And I'll definitely be, keeping in touch with you. Saying that everything's good with you. What size do you wear in shoes?
I'm a men's 8 and a women's 9.5.
Okay. And it's kind of close to the wife there. If you was in a grade school, I'd be like, hey, if you're looking for some, you know what I mean? Like,
I can't do that grade school no more, man.
Nah.
I had my son, and he was like, "Yeah, we gonna take you out the game when it comes to grade school." So I had to change it up a little bit. So.
Oh man. Yeah. Well, look, even if that might be for the better, because before I go, I will say, shout out to everybody who wears grade school. I used to be like, oh, y'all wear grade school. You know what I'm saying? But that grade school resale is real, man.
It's crazy. It's crazy. They get hit with it. They get hit with it crazy. Even when the shoes don't come out in, maybe they don't come out in grade school or, whatever the case may be. That's also another thing. They got some problems over there.
Yeah. Well, people call me a hater. But I will I'll be checking you out. Oh, before we go, you got to tell people about Let Tay Created.
Oh, yes. So my business, Let Tay Created. I sell shirts, buttons. Actually, this shirt I just dropped, sneakers are the best conversation starters. So I have that on my website. I also have Respect Female Sneakerheads merch. So I have mugs, stickers, shirts. You guys can check it out, lettaycreated.com. So hope you guys see something that you like. And I also have my Souls and Angles t-shirt that I got a graphic created. And so I now have the graphic tee, the pre-order link is now available. So if anybody wants a shirt, they can get one and check it out on my page.
Okay. So I have to ask.
Yes.
I'm not even going to ask you how much they cost or nothing like that, because I'm going to just look on the website. What's the biggest size you go up to, though?
3XL. But if you need bigger, I can go bigger. You just got to let me know. Mm-hmm.
All right.
Unisex, too. Yeah. All that. Mm-hmm.
All right. Lettaycreated.com. Got your husband in there, you know what I'm saying? Put it in the
Thank
tag.
you.
Yeah. All right. Well, look. Everybody check that out. I need that shirt that you're wearing, you know what I'm saying? So that 3X,
Yes, and it comes in multiple colors.
Okay. All right.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Check it out.
Black business is what I'm talking about. All right. Look, I'm going to go ahead and go, but thank you again, and I'll definitely be in touch.
Yes, thank you for having me. Appreciate it.
Peace, y'all.
All right. Bye.